to After Dark. Flavio, tell us about yourself, tell us about your channel, tell us about your week, tell us about your life.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Um, for those that you don't know me, I am Flavio's House of Collectibles. You know, been in the community for about 2.5-ish years now. Um, I've been on various other streams and whatnot. If you guys have seen me around, my channel mainly consists of unboxings and reviews of six scale figures when I'm not on other streams. Um, yeah, so thank you for having me.
There you go.
And my week has been uh, pretty up and down. Trying to figure out what I'm doing about work, trying to find a new job and whatnot. You know how that goes with everybody. So, not in the best spirits lately, but
Oh no.
that's why we have this community, right? That's why we have this hobby. This is kind of an outlet to kind of escape a little bit. So, with the latest announcements and, things that have been going on have been very good to me, keeping my mind busy. So, I'm sure we'll talk about that. But yeah, thank you for having me.
There you go. John, how are we doing today?
Doing well, thanks. Chris, you just left. I was gonna say you better grab some fresh lobsters, eh? That's what Newfoundland's.
Yeah, man. They already had them in the airport in tanks. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
they give them out
But
like candy over there.
Wow.
yeah, it's a 48-hour run, so I'll have to fit in one roll at least.
Yeah, awesome. I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me as usual. Um, what did I do? Outside yard work, the boring stuff. Nothing exciting in my life recently. I'm continuing to watch Berserk though. Dean, Zod versus Guts. Beautiful fight. That's where I'm at right
I'm
now.
so excited for you, John.
That was like the best. That was like one of the best. I don't know. I really liked it. I was shocked. I'm liking this anime as much as I am.
I love you.
I love you too.
Considering you're not an anime guy,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
never would have assumed. So
No,
Now you
it's
gotta
good.
watch Evangelion.
I watched Eva Longoria the other day. Uh,
As often as
no, but
possible.
I'm enjoying it. We'll see. We'll keep going. Hopefully,
Classic.
it keeps up the momentum. It's getting good.
There you go. Classy, how we doing today?
Doing good, Zach. Yeah, today well, no, I'm sorry, not today. Yesterday I got my Catwoman from Sideshow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she finally arrived after such a long wait, and she's actually a pretty good figure. I haven't had a chance to fully explore, but I think I'm digging it. And I have the what's that thing? The motorcycle where the wheels flip over.
The
Yeah.
Bat
Or
Pod?
the oh, is that? Oh yeah, the Bat Pod. Yeah, I've got one of those, so I think that's gonna be her ride. That's gonna be her sitting there with her little back arch and cakes it out there. So
So this is the Selena Kyle, the 2.0, right? The Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway, yeah, the
Yeah.
2.0. Mm-hmm.
Did you have any issues out of the box by any chance?
No, I didn't have any issues. I took her out. They were everybody's been kind of correct about the bagging around the knees, but
Yeah.
that's real easy to correct. Well, actually, I mean, it kind of works out well when you bend the knees. But if you want to straight, I mean, it's super stretchy. I just reached up and grabbed them and just kind of tugged them up real high,
Yeah.
and it takes most of the wrinkles out. So yeah, but I haven't had any problems at all with her. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm going to really enjoy this.
I only ask because I also got that figure in a couple weeks back too from Sideshow, and like you said, we've been waiting for the longest for that figure to come in, and I didn't think I had any issues. I opened it, took it right out of the box, and I'm putzing around with it, and I'm looking at all the accessories. I look in the clamshell, and then I noticed there's something sitting in there, and it happened to be her zipper. Her
What?
zipper had just right out of the box was off. So I messaged
Oh.
them. They already took care of me. They sent me a replacement body. So
Okay.
now I'm gonna try to fix that myself with a little bit of super glue. But yeah, that kind of was a little annoying that
Oh,
the
okay.
zipper came like that. So I was just
I'll
wondering
have to
if you,
check that out. Thanks for the warning. I'll take a look at it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lane, how are we doing today? You had Destiny last week.
Yeah.
It was your Destiny.
Yeah. That I will say, just getting to hear everybody has their Catwoman, and I'm still waiting for mine.
oh, I'm sorry.
After 3.5 years of having it pre-ordered. So before that happy thought entered my mind in the last 30 seconds. Yeah, last week I was out playing Destiny 2 and was pretty good campaign, and then oh boy, man, they unleashed the raid Friday night. My fire team went in there for the world first. It took them the first team to beat it took 19 hours to beat it, which, to put in context, that was like the previous combined amount for like the previous 5 raids put out in the game in the last like 5 years. To beat it, they made it that they like put everything they had into it and made it one of the most annoying experiences. My team we spent 3.5 hours first night, couldn't make it past the first encounter, which was not surprising because it took just forever for even the world's best to beat it with the special enhancement mode that they were playing in, and then I beat it on Monday once that was gone.
Was it worth, like, I guess, the anticipation or the effort? Like,
Oh
did you
yeah, it was a
enjoy-
great. It wasn't the final battle with the bad guy. After it was beat the first time, it unlocked the 12-player like combo mission that you can repeat. That was for the final battle, but that was a great ending. Like, it had a perfect ending, great ending for a pseudo 10-year story. But yeah, I put a lot of time into that. That's why I was not here last week, guys, because
It's disappointing. Like you sacrificed sitting on a panel with me to play a video game. That's just heartbreaking.
I literally, for the first time in 5 years, literally took a day off from work so that I could play that game.
Wow, you really got into it. Down to skip work.
Yeah, dude,
he dressed up and everything, wearing a cape and everything.
Yeah, well, no, but I was not dressed like Will
I saw him. He sent me the photo.
I do like that for like Grand Theft Auto release or something, I think.
Yeah, well, this was the culmination of a 10-year story. So I was like taking off that day. Other than that, I haven't managed to get anything in except I got Riva a couple weeks ago. But I'm interested. Obviously, we had some stuff here from yesterday night that you guys will be talking about next week or later this week about that really caught my attention in the last like 24 hours. So that has me excited. And other than stuff, my work is killing me slowly right now because it is so insanely busy right now, and apparently will remain so at least through August. So I'm not going to be having a good time probably. But I'm glad everybody else is here having a good thing. And I know John will probably be talking about later this week about a certain other statute discussion that I watched that entire video, and they still haven't responded to my question because I was not super happy with them. But anyway, other this week, though, been having a good week.
There you go. CM Chuck, how are we doing today?
Doing good, guys. How do I sound? Do I sound okay? Sorry, I didn't get to get dialed in.
God damn it, Chuck.
Is it horrible?
You're professional, Chuck.
I know.
Jesus, you sound fine.
Okay, I do see that Vintage Rebellion podcast in the chat is apparently off their meds, so maybe we can get them some help. I don't know if
Chris
that's
right here, bro.
Yeah, I know. I like the shirt, Zach. I'm repping too. I like your shirt, but
I just want everyone to know I'm a big fan. I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I'm a big. Not my first Star Wars, what I say.
But yeah, good evening, everyone. Hey, there we go, Dino. I love it. You love to see it. Flavio, welcome, man. Hit us with the socials so I can give you some follows from my pod and stuff like that.
Hit us with the OnlyFans, bro.
We'll do.
Definitely with the OF for sure.
I'll
good
drop
week.
it in the chat.
Yeah, cool, man. Tomorrow's the little guy's my nephew's 11th birthday, so looking forward to celebrating with him on the weekend.
Hey,
and
tell him I
tomorrow.
said happy birthday.
I will. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah. So just wrapping gifts and getting ready for the party on the weekend. But tomorrow we'll probably just hang out, just family, and do gifts here and stuff like that. I know he's not watching, but his grandfather really outdid everybody. And well, you know what? I don't know if I don't think he's gonna check out after dark. But yeah, his grandfather got him an Xbox, and I was like, dude, you can't top that. Like,
Wait, sorry, I stepped away for a second. It was your nephew's birthday?
it's tomorrow. He'll be 11.
What did you get him?
Hopefully a
I
PlayStation.
no, I didn't. I couldn't compete with that. I got him some pops because he still likes the Funkos, some Spider-Man ones he's been looking for, and then I got him. So he, and you guys can tell me, but he said to get him the knockoff. It's a knockoff black Spider-Man from that AliExpress. I had never ordered from there. He
Okay,
wanted
fun
that-
fact.
th-
I have
uh-huh.
2 of those coming in this weekend.
Okay, so I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, the prices are amazing. So
Yeah, I wouldn't get it on AliExpress. AliExpress is not illegitimate, but I would say there's far more illegitimate sellers than legitimate. The one that I got it from, I think it was like $30 and for one, so it's about $10 more than AliExpress, but it ships from
Okay.
LA instead
Okay.
of China.
well,
Is it
these
sit
act-
scale?
No, it's 12th scale, but it's more Dean, what is the one? Figma is the smallest 12th scale, or is it Figuarts? They're more like they're meant to be Figuarts scale, but since I think they're recast, they're like maybe like 5% smaller. In fact, I want to show you this YouTube short. It's like my favorite YouTube short, but I'll show you the figure that he's talking about because I actually ordered 2. If I end up having a spare, I'll give it to you for what I paid for, but I got 2 in case like one, was just terrible out of the box.
Nice. Yeah, so I got him one of those, and then one of the Spider-Man 2099s from that.
Oh,
website. And they-
you did get it from AliExpress.
Yeah, they came pretty quick. I mean, like we're more than where.
Oh,
quicker
you already
than I
have them.
Anticipated. Yeah, they came in.
Send me the seller that you got it from, like right
Okay.
now, if you can.
Looks
on
like the
Fit
one.
Messenger.
Looks like your connection in LA is getting it off the
I know what the hell.
AliExpress
It's getting
truck.
off of AliExpress, bro. What the hell?
Be humble. Holla, holla.
Dude,
Sit
this
down.
shit is fucking. Oh, you can actually change the volume now. This figure, it's a little bit smaller, but it's.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying to repaint it, and they were just like ruining all the webbing, and so this company is like basically just made a recast of the red suit, but with the apparently they changed the logo on the spider, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I can't wait for mine. But yeah, send me the link because I'm curious if you got a really good price on it, then I might
It
just
wasn't super
maybe return
crazy
the one
good,
that I
but-
got.
Yeah, let me see. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. On the week goings ons.
There you go. It has been an interesting week. I don't know if it's been a good week or a bad week. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's all just blending together at this point. Some good, some bad. I've been working on a lot of 3D printing projects lately. If you watched the main show, the one that I'm really excited for is this Spider-Man mounting system, and so I've printed 3 prototypes and a 4th that's like kind of like a mini prototype. So what I'm trying to work on right now is the fitment of basically this portion of the clamp where the actual thing goes in, and then you have the screws. And I was printing the whole thing, and I was like, I could actually just print this portion here. And so I think I got it good enough. It's, pretty tight, and you can fit your screw hole in there, and it'll clamp on there. I did get some measurements from Collector Joey. So I have one in... God, it's so dark. I have one in plastic, and then one in resin. And this is the ABS-like resin, and so it's actually quite flexible. You can actually, flex the parts, and they don't snap. But I don't know that it's as strong as the plastic. Like, the plastic is... I mean, I'm sure if I really wanted to break it, you could break it. But, I mean, pinching it as hard as you can or trying to break these little tabs, they're pretty on there. The first one that I printed, I had printed it incorrectly. And both the back portion that attaches to the stand and all 4 pegs just snapped off. And I was like, Jesus Christ, well, this might not be a project that we can do, but apparently it was just the way I had the infill structure done. So excited for that. And then I've been working on the symbiote Spider-Man heads, and the guy's in Ireland, so it's kind of hard working with someone when you're almost on opposite time zones. And the he had a really great idea because we were having trouble getting the fitment down, and so he basically told me to like make like a negative, sort of like on Tinkercad, to like resculpt recreate the joint, and then just print it in a cube, and then pop this cube on the head, on the neck, and then if that fits, then send him the joint so that he can negative space it and then hollow out his sculpt. So in theory, I should be getting the final drafts of the 3 sculpts that we're working on tomorrow, and I'm really excited because I was actually able to dial this in enough that it actually just plugs into the actual Mezco symbiote head, and it won't kind of be all bobbly head, hopefully. So that's exciting. But yeah, it's been interesting. I don't know. I feel like kind of waiting on some news for some things, and when that news comes in, we'll see how good or bad it is. But it was funny, Dean. The last time that we met with Rainer, it might have been maybe the time before last. He had gotten me. I don't remember where he went. Was it England that he went? Or we met at the it was that one restaurant, Dean, where it was really dark, and did he go to England? I don't.
Yeah, I
go
think
for
Rainer
a
went to
celebration?
That was his most recent trip.
Well, it's funny because he got me a Harry Potter wand, and at the time I was like, "Oh, this is neat," but like I don't really know anything about Harry Potter, nor am I like that big of a fan, and so I just kind of had it in the collection. Not really necessarily on display, but it was nice, and obviously I very thoughtful gift. And lately I've been on a huge Harry Potter like binge, and I was thinking like, dang, there's like these cool like blind box wands. I was like, dude, maybe I'll get a Harry Potter one. I was like, wait a second, I already have a Harry Potter one, and so I keep this on my desk now. It's actually like the official like replica. Like I don't like, on Galaxy's Edge they have like the sabers. This is like that tier of.
Is that the one
prop.
that like shoots the fire out of it?
No. This is not. But it's
Those are cool. I've
like
seen
made
those.
of resin, and like it has like a real nice paint job on it. And
Those are the blind
Noble-
box ones
no-
you said?
No, this is the Noble collection. I was saying I wanted to buy a
okay.
blind box one because that was the cheapest way to get one. Then I was like, oh, I already have one. So, and it's Harry Potter's one too, which is pretty cool. So I like it. I do. I think it's pretty cool. Now I
I have
now
a
have
Noble
some
Collection Voldemort one. It's pretty sweet.
You
also.
fucking-
I have
Avada Kedavra.
I have a couple wands. I went to the Harry Potter store in New York, picked them
Ooh,
up.
did you get one of the exclusive ones? I really want that Phoenix one and the Golden
You're-
Snitch one.
You're talking about that. It's the
And the
black and
Gryffindor
gold one.
one.
See,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, and I wanted
You
to like.
fucking fool.
I knew I wanted to knock off like the actual characters in the movie first, so I picked up like I forget how many I got. I think I got like 4 or 5 of them, but I want to go back, and I do want to pick up that one because it's an exclusive one to that store.
So
And
I
didn't-
thought it was, but you can get them online
I
from their
think you-
website.
You can
And now you can. Yeah.
Now you can, but I think when they first opened, I think it was
Yeah.
like a specific thing for their store.
Yeah.
But it also is like, come on, that's like the cool part of it, right? Like saying that you got it
Couldn't
from
be
there.
me, bro.
So.
I didn't leave the house for that.
Now, when you go to the when you go to the one in New York, can you go there and actually select have your own wand selected? You know how like in the movies where
Look at this
where
shit.
the wand picks the wizard.
So I don't remember. It's kind of cool. Like it's a really cool experience. There's so much stuff. Those are like some of the
that's
ones
nice.
that I definitely
This
want
is
to
one I
pick up.
really want. The Gryffindor one too.
But to answer that question, I think they kind of have like an interactive thing there for kids mainly. You know what I mean? Where
Look at this
you
shit.
can do something like that, but
Beautiful.
it's really cool because they have a big wall and it's just like I'm drawing a blank. The one guy,
Ollivanders, bro.
Ollivander's, yeah, it's like Ollivander's
fan, bro.
store.
Yeah,
It's like Ollivander's store. Come on, it's like almost midnight. I'm almost falling asleep.
No excuses, bro.
But it's crazy. The wall has like thousands and thousands of boxes, and they're all scattered around. They're not like all organized. It's really nice decor, and then there's a select few from each of those boxes that are actually real boxes that you can pull out.
Okay.
So they have them all there by character and by like, you know, house and all of that, and that you can pick them out. But I don't remember off the top of my head if it like generally picks you, but they have employees there that, you know, have kind of that ambiance where it's like, oh well, if you're more geared towards this, then this is the one for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering because I was thinking it would be kind of cool if you could go there and have your, in addition to getting the characters' wands, getting your own customized wand. That's a little bit different. That kind of is maybe unique to the store.
Yeah, that would be cool too if they would let you like customize your own wand. I don't know if they per se have that, but you know, like Zach was saying, they have those certain exclusive wands that are exclusive to, well, not anymore, but to the store and to
Yeah,
the
they
house
used to be.
that you could pick out, that you could only pick there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's the only. If I'm not mistaken, like if you go to Universal or something, I think they also have wands there
they
that you
have
can buy,
yeah.
but you wouldn't be able to get those ones.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying.
I'm sitting here wondering if Zach
Wow.
practiced any moves there in the mirror.
Oh yeah. There you go. I was doing a little bit of
What's got you on the Harry Potter kick? The in arts or what?
So when was it the
Those
Ron or the
knees.
Harry? Whatever.
It's the
Harry-
knees.
Harry.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Bunch of fools. I when the Harry was shown, ever since like the Gandalf and like I feel like everything that comes out they kind of miss like something obvious, like oh like this should have came with this, or you know, also just checking for accuracy and things like that. And so I was like, I'm gonna watch the movie for the Harry Potter pre-order, and I was like, damn, that was pretty good. And I was like, and my favorite one, I think it's the second one, the Chamber of Secrets, and I was like, that was pretty fucking good too. And then I ended up just watching all of them, and then I was like, dude, Harry Potter's dope. It's taking everything in
Dude.
me not to pre-order Harry, but then I was like, well, I might as well start the books too, and so I started reading the first book, and it's fuck. Dude, she takes a bit to get going. I'm like halfway through the book, and they're barely getting into their houses. So, P-Rock, let me know. You said that you need help with the Godzilla. I don't quite know what you mean by that, but let me know what you. Baseball hat print for my Godzilla figure. Let me know what that means, but I can do it. I think I
Look at
understand.
his last comment by P-Rock.
Hello.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I could. Yeah. It was 2 wands actually. I was dual wielding.
Jeez.
I had like the short sword and then the long sword. Anyways,
Dude, I'm
so
kinda,
let's. Oh,
I was
sorry. Go
gonna
ahead.
say I'm just kind of torn on, you know, those figures. Just not
So
because
expensive, bro.
N-
I have the
that's-
Newt Scamander hot toys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I wish they would have done a Harry Potter because
it's mainly that.
Harry Potter. Not
It's
a
mainly
$500.
that. It's the price point and how many things are, you know, up for pre-order and available right now. Like I am,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel weird in that sense where it's like, oh, like, you know, where's your loyalty to the IP? But like for me, like my top IPs are like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and like
Wow, you're a Harry Potter guy. Look at that.
yeah, things like that. Which like I actually remember like vividly dressing up as Harry one Halloween when I was like a kid, like real young.
The Latin
And
Harry Potter.
I'm, you know, I don't know. Do you guys remember like the book?
Did you do the
book?
scar too?
Yeah, dude, it came with the scar, like a prosthetic
Damn,
thing.
bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, like I was real into it. And you guys like remember like the old like bookstores for the school, like I forget what it was
Like
called,
this
but
book fair.
Scholastic.
yeah, the book, the book fair.
Bro, they still have them. They're brutal, bro.
It's
Fucking damn
yeah,
brutal.
it's the prices have gone up for those two. I bet.
Bro, they said they take credit card only. Like what? The
Wow.
You had to like prepay online, and then like my kid had like a budget going
Wow,
in. It's
can you
all digital
imagine?
now. I was like, damn, bro, I'm
crazy.
getting hustled, bro.
But
Hustler.
I even remember like, you know, having all the books and like reading them off, like, you know, because my sister was a big, you know, she's a big reader, and
Yeah.
we kind of bonded with that like back in the day when I was young. Like, you know, just she would read the book, and I mean, she was crazy. Like, she read the book like in a week, and already knew what was going on in the movie and stuff. And we would kind of like pinpoint, like, oh, well, what did they take from the book, and what did they leave out, and stuff like that. So I really resonate a lot with Harry Potter, but just the sheer price point that those figures are going for, and my pre-order list that I have going on, it's so much. But then it kind of like hurts, because it's like there might not ever be any other representation of Harry Potter in general, which, like, I've always been banking for like Hot Toys to do it eventually. Like, I'll be as patient as possible, or
Harry Potter.
I might have to pick up in art on the aftermarket or something if I want to. But like you were saying, like, watching the movies and like looking back at some of the accessories to see, why didn't they give him the book with the basilisk tooth? Like, that would have been
How much was
Well,
this-
because that's
how
that's
much-
that's the wrong movie, my bro.
but are they even going off of
Yeah, they're
all the
branding it as
same movies?
philosophers. No, they're branding it as the
all three of them?
philosophers.
No, the
Yeah,
first
that-
movie. All
that
three
box
The
were-
was-
Sorcerer's Stone.
No, all
box is
three.
real.
I meant
Yeah.
all three of the figures, though. Are they all from the same movie, or all
Yeah,
different?
yeah, they're all
movies?
from the same
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
How much are they going for?
that's why
They're
they all
like
have the sorting.
five-
That's why they all have the sorting hat.
Well, that's kind of
560.
BS too, though, because the only one who should really have the sorting hat that makes sense is Hermione, and maybe Harry, because like,
Well,
but
they all
like
got to
Yeah,
use
but they're
it.
already making
they
it. so
all
they might
got
as
to
well.
use it, but
Okay, but you know what's shitty though?
boy.
I don't really want to talk too much figure today, but
I'm
what's
getting
shitty
my figure blood
is-
boiling already.
yeah, there's two different sculpts for 3 figures for the hat. They should have done 3 different sculpts. I don't know why they cheaped out on Hermione.
Yeah. Didn't
If that was
hey,
in the
didn't-
sorry, Chris.
I was gonna say, didn't Hot Toys make the Johnny Depp from Harry Potter?
Yeah,
yeah, the
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald,
Like
and-
right before he got like fired from everything, right?
I think
They
this might
never-
have been after poop pillow incident. Yeah.
So,
Or
so they
before,
did
rather.
they did Johnny Depp, but they never did a single Harry Potter. That's crazy.
Well, no, because they had the license for that series of films, which they're like a
Oh.
different.
Legendary Beast series.
Yeah,
Oh,
Legendary
right.
Beasts do that. Those movies.
and
are
it was
dope,
it was
too.
a while back
Dude, now I
ago.
gotta go back and watch those.
It was
Fantastic Beast.
a
Fantastic
while
Beast.
back ago. I don't know
Legendary
if anybody
Beast.
remembers, but
Legendary Beast.
Hot
is
Toys,
the legendary.
Hot Toys teased Wizarding World and just left it at that. Like, they
I
teased
actually
that.
vaguely remember that.
They teased that a long time ago before Inart even ever announced anything to do with Harry Potter, but they just left it at that. So that's why I say, like, I bank on it, but it might never happen.
If they were smart, they wouldn't. Personally, that's my opinion.
Well, I think they made Cos Babies. I think that's the only thing they made from it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get? A
But
100 bucks
Wizarding
cheaper?
World encompasses all of that
Right.
franchise. They don't.
But
Call it Harry Potter.
imagine if they did some of the older movies, like Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix. Like, as they get older, since Hot Toys is more on to doing more adult-like figures, I think that would maybe
like
help
Deathly
them out.
Hallows. That'd be pretty dope.
Dude,
Although
that'd be
their
sick.
outfits are kind of lame. It's like, brother, motherfuckers wearing knockoff
Right.
Adidas, bro. There's 2 stripes on that. Let's see. We're about halfway through the show. 160's nuts. To be sure, Crookshanks and Scabbers come with them, and they're from Prisoner of Azkaban. 160's nuts. My friend, you are incorrect. Scabbers is in the first movie. Ron tries to turn him into a yellow rat on the train, my friend.
Wow.
Crookshanks, you might be right on that. I'm gonna double check. Hang on, we're under review here.
A yellow rat,
Crookshanks.
eh?
Yeah, because it's on the train. He's like, sunset yellow, something, something, turn the stupid fat rat yellow, and then he blows up the rat's head. Crookshanks, Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone. Let's research. We got a review on the field, Dean.
Wow.
Yellow flag is.
So does he turn him? Does he do the Veraverto spell on him in
You're asking
that
too
movie?
much. I don't know. Yes.
Like, does he turn him into the cup? Because that was another accessory that I think would have been cool to have him.
He did in that classroom setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool.
A big hairy cup.
1-6, you may be correct on Hermione. I'm not seeing. I have to rewatch. Now I got to rewatch the film. I think you actually may be correct, but for sure, Scabbers is in the first movie, guaranteed, bro. Take it to the bank. Because that's when Hermione first meets Ron. Is she steps in, she's like, "Oh, you're doing a bit of magic."
Well,
Just kind of.
they did. I think they did well there.
Anyways, we are at the halfway point. I think we are ready to talk Acolyte. Dean, the Dream, Martin, you have seen the 3 episodes. You have seen it all today.
Yeah.
I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I was really hesitant because everyone was saying that episode 3 was going to rock the very foundations of Star Wars
Yep.
and it is going to destroy any remaining fan base. So I start watching. We're getting into spoilers, right? I was like, do I need to say that?
Let's do non-spoiler overarching thoughts, and then we'll put the disclaimer, and then we'll go spoilers.
Okay,
Like we
then
did
it's
for
not
Amanda.
good. So
Okay. All right, Chris.
I don't know how else to say it if we're not getting into spoilers. Like, it's not
Okay,
good.
Chris, what did you think?
All right. Well, as you guys all know, ever since the Mayan calendar didn't correctly predict the end of the world, we've been in the dark timeline, and it's pretty hard to get good movies and TV shows in the dark timeline. Like it's pretty much that's where it started going downhill, really. So like anytime you get anything that's half decent, you got to be like sort of thankful. Like like Furiosa, awesome movie, failed miserably at the box office. You're never getting another thing like that again. Too bad people didn't go and see it. That's over. So Acolyte is like sort of in this middle ground for me where it's like it's doing a lot of things that I like. I think the way they're visually handling the worlds are a lot better than I've seen in some recent shows. Like even if you go back to like some of the episodes of The Mandalorian, like the planet where he discovers Cara Dune, like that restaurant and everything, it's like literally the shape of the volume. It's like a round disc with like no elevation to it whatsoever. There's a whole lot of that in Kenobi as well, and I think the sets are more impressive in this. The world building's better, and they're not just like constantly slapping my favorite characters every 5 minutes because they're all new characters, so that's nice about it too. And I'm not mad about it. I don't know, this stuff in episode 3 that everybody thought would shake the foundations, I don't see it.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm not quite sure if everyone else had seen it. Flavio, have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
High
Yep,
level
I've seen
thoughts. High level thoughts.
High level. Yeah, I kind of want to touch base on that too. Like Chris does have good points there with the set dressing. Everything behind, the show, I will say, does seem, a little bit, it is really good for me. You know what I mean? I love kind of seeing, the worlds that they're taking us to and seeing, I don't really want to get into it too much and spoil it, but for the people that have seen it, just the terrain that, they've taken us through in the show, I will admit is good. But then at the same time, there's kind of like an underlying, for me, there's an underlying kind of like, how do I say it? Low budge feeling to the show compared to all the other Star Wars shows that we've gotten. I mean, especially next to like Mando and the Obi-Wan series and all of that. It seems kind of like side stage, if that makes sense. But the first 2 episodes were great for me. You know what I mean? I liked the opener to it, but high level, we're probably gonna talk about
We'll
the
talk
bad
specifics
about the
here
show.
in a bit,
Yeah. So I don't want to get too much into it, but definitely the set dressing to the show so far seems good for me. So
There you go. John, did you watch it?
No, sir. I'm out of the game.
Did
on
not
this
do your
one.
homework. Thomas, did you watch
No.
it? That's okay. I appreciate it.
No, I have not seen it.
Hate to see it. Lane, I don't think that you'd seen it, and then Chuck.
Yeah,
I think you've
I'm
seen it.
caught up. Yeah, I saw it today. I'll keep watching because I love Star Wars, so I'm gonna see where it goes. I hope that it's gonna, from what I feel about it right now, I kind of had to do the same thing with Andor, where it was like a little bit of a slow burn and then it picked up. Big time on that one, on Andor, like that ended up blowing me away. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. But right now I don't feel necessarily any kind of emotional investment into the characters. And I think that what Flavio said is kind of interesting, or how it feels kind of second stage a little bit. I'm like, yeah, like this is, I don't know, it's just not, it doesn't feel big like big Star Wars yet. And
Yeah.
I know I don't know if it's spoilery to say, but I don't like how the third episode, we're already in a story in the past, and then the third episode takes us again to like
I fucking hated
se-
that.
several years
Fucking
earlier. I was like,
hated that.
why didn't we just start several
I
years
don't
earlier
fucking
and
like that.
move me forward? Like, I don't know, that trope is getting, I don't know, I'm just, yeah.
Timing
Like
for
here's a
something.
So
here's
they
a
did a
small
flashback?
cliffhanger. Yeah, the whole episode was a flashback. I fucking hate when they do that.
Well, dude, the fact that you wait a whole week for it and then you have to
I
wait for the
know.
premiere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I've had every episode explained to me so far from someone who's been watching it. The first thing I'm getting Disney Plus. I'm gonna start with the first 4 episodes that have been released, but
Yeah.
mostly things I've heard about it sound like it would just make me mad.
Oh,
The thing is, I have for this era of stuff. I've read a
Era?
couple of the books like Light of the Jedi and some of the adult novels, so I'm a little
Nice.
bit familiar with High Republic. I can say just from what I've watched, I think the costumes actually work for the general look and style that they're going for. It's remained very consistent with it, and I think they spoil too much for some of the just from the trailers and stuff.
They always do that though.
I know that's
terrible.
Disney at this point, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna like you guys watch it. It's just I'm doing my timing. It's more just for balancing out my streaming services. Why I haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
but I'm interested to see. This episode sounds like, as I'm probably sure you guys are going to discuss, sounded really rough because there were a couple things explained to me that I went.
Yeah.
So
I
in my head.
I was at about a solid 6 last week with the first 2 episodes. I feel like there was like a little crumb of hope. And like Dean said, like I didn't really like, I guess there was some blogger or something that said this. I don't quite know what was said, but I think Dean had kind of told me like apparently something in episode 3 is going to be so bad. And so I was kind of waiting for it to happen, and I don't know that I really
Picked up on it.
felt like there was anything that is like when I went to YouTube today, every single headline was like this is like just fucking hating it. And I get it. I've done YouTube for like 4 or 5 years. Anything you put in the title that's negative is always going to do better than something positive. But I don't think it's that bad, but it is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Scroll-
I'm at
scroll
like
spoilers
I
out.
was at a 6, now I'm at a 5.
I think it's
So
it's just because of the way that they delivered it, right?
yeah, it's
So do you
just
feel
like,
it's a bad story, or
it's
Nah,
I don't know. The story is I'm interested in the story.
It's the choices.
I don't like the acting is kind of weird. They had kid actors in this third episode, so we'll let me put the banner up. We're gonna go into spoilers now. They had kid actors in this episode, and I get it, right? Like it's got to be incredibly difficult to be a kid actor, 100%. That being
well,
said,
as long as it's not Northwest, I mean,
with that being said, Jesus Christ. With that being said, these actresses that played the little girls, I could not get behind it. I was like, it felt like this story that they were trying to tell of these 2 kids needed to. It felt very rushed.
Yeah,
Everything
the
felt
pacing is
rushed.
definitely
The
off.
pacing, it was so fast. Like the little girl, there's so much to actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Let me just say this, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna pull a flashback. As soon as the sister tells this lie, she's like, "Well, I'm gonna fucking kill you," and I'm like, "Wow, that literally came out of nowhere."
Well,
But anyways, I don't love the way that, and I said this, Dean, recently, that I was like, maybe I just don't get what Jedi are supposed to be, because in my head I had this idea of what they were, and I feel like Disney doesn't really portray them and I could be wrong, but what I thought they were. Like, they show up to this planet that they have no jurisdiction over. It's not in the Republic. Basically demand that these children go with them to be tested. Armed, which I get it, they're Jedi, but I mean, they're showing up to this place. People aren't bothering them. They're like, hey, we're here to take these kids. You guys are doing shit you're not supposed to be doing. You're not allowed to be doing the Force shit. Like, to me, that is so wild, and I think the way they portrayed them is just like, was Anakin right, bro? Like, are the Jedi evil?
Well,
Like,
it's in episode 3, man.
In Clone Wars, it seemed more like you were offered this child. Like, not that you came there to get them, but like, we'd like you to take them. And it didn't feel that way in this episode. And I don't know. There's so much about this episode that
It's a
kind
good
of-
point, though.
kind of made me just be like, okay, I guess. Like, on Twitter, I saw a bunch of people that were upset about the witches creating these two children, and like, I didn't see that as a big deal at all, personally. Like, it's already been established that can happen through the Force with Anakin. So I didn't really quite understand. Apparently, that was what was lore breaking, at least according to all the tweets about how Anakin is irrelevant now and the Chosen One thing is kind of BS. I didn't really think that really broke the canon. I don't know. Maybe it did. But there's, like, I was talking to Dean about so many questions that I had and things that Dean felt that he noticed that I didn't quite agree with. But Dean, I'll let you give us your 3 episodes worth of spoilers, because I don't know. The first 2 episodes I was interested. Now I'm just kind of like dreading episode 4, to be honest.
So I'm actually really enjoying most of the show. I really like Osha as a character. I think she's really cool and not compelling, but I also like, I'm interested because for so far she's like the good guy, but
Yeah,
I don't
good
know
guy.
if she's gonna stay the good guy, because it's been pointed out that she has a lot of like resentment and anger, and like I said, they just keep pointing it out, and so she's really interesting to watch on screen, and she's a great actress, and so I really like Osha.
The adult actress.
Yeah, the adult actress.
Yeah. Especially playing
Both
basically
roles.
2 sides of the coin. Yeah,
Right.
love that.
Master Soul, fucking goat. I love him. He's great already. He's kind of like what you picture a Jedi to be. Like, he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to be level-headed. When someone questions something he's doing, he has an answer, that's very calm and collected. He's great. I really like his Padawan, who is the X-23 in the Wolverine movie.
Oh, yeah. I was
Yeah.
actually very surprised by that.
Yeah. I fucking really don't like that one guy. What's his name? Yord?
Yord? I fucking hate Yord.
He's fucking annoying.
Wait,
It's
so
meant to be annoying.
Is the X-23 Soul's Padawan, or is it Yord's
Yeah.
Padawan?
Soul's Padawan. The girl with
Yord?
the little
Really?
horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's
Okay,
the
it's Yord's Padawan.
replacement
Okay, perfect.
for-
I want to make sure I understand.
No, she's Soul's Padawan. Yord's Padawan has those
Soul's.
big ears.
Oh, right.
In the very first scene when he's with her.
Yeah. I think that's his
Okay.
Padawan. They're together anyway.
Yeah.
But
Cat
Soul's
monster.
Padawan is the chick with the little horns that is flying the ship.
Let me double
She
check
looks
that,
like
but yeah.
Chitara from Thundercats.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's the
Also-
Nigerian lady.
Wow, yeah, you're
Yeah.
100% correct. Yeah,
I know I
X-23
am.
is Soul's Padawan. I know you
So-
are. I thought it was Yord's.
One of my biggest complaints, first scene of the show, Carrie Ann Moss
Sad.
gets knifed. Regular knives are more deadly than lightsabers in this fucking show. And
Yeah, I
this
think
fu-
Disney's
all
like
of Disney
0 for
Star
6
Wars.
on people getting stabbed with lightsabers
People getting
and
fucking
dying.
stabbed left and right with lightsabers, survive every fucking time. Chick with
Yeah.
a fucking butter knife, dead.
Yeah,
And
but
it's like
that's
a
because
tiny
the
little
lightsaber,
dagger, too.
the lightsaber cauterizes the wound on
No,
its
Dean.
exit.
It's because Kenobi and Ahsoka are trash shows. That's the reason.
Oh,
Wha-
whoa.
Kylo
That's how you
Ren-
dunk for the
well,
super chat, by the way.
Finn gets fucking sliced like a fucking
I don't
Off
know.
his
If
back.
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
spinal,
dude. At
Dean,
least-
is fucking
yeah,
his
his
X Games
spinal
mod.
like fucking your fucking gutting a fucking deer, but he's fucking fine. Fucking Kylo Ren gets stabbed. Fucking Rey just force heals him out of fucking nowhere for some reason.
I mean,
It's
those,
like,
yeah,
Obi-Wan,
they're
why
pretty
didn't you
bad
do
too.
that? Why'd you let Qui-Gon die? You could have saved him.
Not only
I mean,
does
okay.
Reva get stabbed twice.
Yeah, fucking bitch can't fucking die if you fucking her life depended on it.
When did we
Literally.
first get Force Heal? I saw Force Heal in the old
Episode
SNES
9.
game.
Dean, did you just
Yeah.
say that she can't die if her life depends?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, it's fucking crazy. So anyway,
Well, neither
Carrie-Anne
Baron
Moss-
Sabine either.
Carrie-Anne Moss, first scene is gone. I was so excited to watch Carrie-Anne Moss in this show, and it's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
well,
There's
now
that.
in the flashback scene in episode 3, she's there, but it really doesn't matter. She's fucking dead in present day. So it's like, I just don't give a shit. The pacing is crazy off. They start off with the show. May kills this Jedi of Carrie-Anne Moss. No, May kills Osha's. the
God
good
damn.
guy. May kills the female Jedi, and immediately everyone's like, "Oh, that's Osha," based on her description. So they go to Osha and they're like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And she's like, "I've been here on this ship," which I'm sure is very easy to check her alibi, but they
Yeah, it's
arrest
almost
her
like-
anyway.
You're in space, and it's like there's no security cameras. Like you can't prove that you're here.
Right.
Like
I feel like a couple lines of dialogue could have justified it, right?
Yeah.
Because
It did.
at the very beginning, the guy is like, "Hey, Osha, why didn't you come with us down to Nar Shaddaa? We had a great time partying all night." And she's like, "I had shit to do." If
The
you had
smuggler's
just,
moon.
if you had just had her go with them and like, "Hey, we had fun last night on Nar Shaddaa, right?" Bam, there goes your alibi. You weren't on the ship. Where the fuck were you, right? So, like,
like
you
that
could
a
have
lot
fixed
better.
that immediately. So,
Say
they
that
want-
location. Say that
Instead-
location one more time.
Nar Shaddaa?
fucking
That's the
bad
name of the
fish.
planet.
John, if you don't know Nar Shaddaa, that's been around for like 30 years in Star Wars canon. Like, I
Yeah,
can't
how
help
dare
bro.
you?
But like, the
Who's
thing
not
is,
partying on Nar Shaddaa? Come on.
they want you to think that it was hers, so that's why she was like, "I'm not telling you what I did last night," and you know, like,
Right,
they-
it's
they want-
goofy, right? It's like you could explain all of this away. But anyway, they arrest her. And then within an episode, they're like, "It's not her." I was like, bro, like, have this be a point of contention for the show. That'd be crazy if she's on the run,
You know what's-
trying to prove her innocence, but it's like, oh, there's no way this chick didn't do it. Master Soul, I didn't do it. I believe you.
Dean,
You
they had the
just
they had
said
the,
it wasn't possible 10 seconds ago.
they had the perfect chance to extend that what if when she ran out of Yord's view and he didn't see her, but she
Right?
walked in on that guy's
That's
dead.
what I thought was
and
gonna
he
happen.
lies for her, and he's like, "No, I saw her the whole time." It's like, motherfucker, no, you didn't. You could have extended that doubt and made it a more interesting scene. And instead,
Bro,
he's like,
that's exactly what I thought they were going to do because I was like, there's no way they figured it out this fast.
"Yeah,
Within an episode or two, there's no
This-
way. And then they did.
Man,
they were
man,
like, oh.
this is the same writing school that said, "Hey, let's have it look like Chewie dies," and like literally 10 seconds later,
okay,
oh,
that
look,
scene was
Chewie's
horrifying."
alive.
Yeah,
And then
there's no
they
build up
didn't.
to it.
It's like, okay, that was resolved
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah, and then Chewie's alive. I'm like, so what was the effing point? Like that.
Yeah, you're right. Lane.
That's the biggest thing I've heard from the show is that the writing is so gosh darn awful.
It's just
I love
not-
how the
the
Green Lady
dialogue.
told Soul they had a shitload of evidence when all they had was a bartender eyewitness.
Yeah,
Bro,
no shit.
when their evidence was this dude going, "That's her," I'm like, that's it. That's the big fucking reveal.
And her evidence was, it's not me. Okay, I believe you. What the fuck is happening? Bro, it's like, oh my God. It's just not well written. But
Yeah.
that being said, it's an interesting story. I like where they're going. The whole thing with the space lesbians.
Oh.
I'm kind of with you. Like, does it break lore? Does it kind of negate Anakin being born through the Force via? I think in the Darth Vader comments or comics, it finally says that Palpatine is the one that manipulated
It's-
the midichlorians.
it's a vision in
Yeah.
the comics. It's meant to be like ambiguous, but you are correct.
Yeah, so because I still took it as these girls were born manipulating the force or the thread, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you
why are
know,
they calling
they
it?
don't call it the force; they call it the thread because I guess chicks have
Use the
tampons
thread.
and they use threads.
Oh,
So anyway,
Jesus.
they call it the thread. So they manipulate the force and have birth these children. Where Anakin was always said to be like the will of the force.
Correct.
So I still feel like Anakin, it doesn't affect him at all. But I could see how people could conflate it and be confused because also the lore is still kind of up in the air. Like the
Well-
comic says one thing, but it's still a vision that's up for interpretation. It's fucking.
Well,
it's
Anakin's
Star
kind
Wars.
of-
Space.
It's kind of in episode 3 too. Like Palpatine, like strongly implies that that he
That head tilt,
manipulated
bro.
the midichlorians
Right.
to create life. But yeah, I don't think it breaks it at all. This is like, you know, the witches, they strongly imply that those two women are the biological parents of these twins. So this is just
Right.
using the force for IVF, bro. It's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, and
I've
they're not the
accepted worse things in Star Wars to
Yeah.
like be up in arms about this.
They're not the first witches, right? The witches of Dathomir.
So
are cool.
Dathomir,
And they're a matriarchal society. They fucking rule over the men with the fucking
Well,
green.
Wanda
thumb,
Wanda
man.
made some children out of magic.
There you go.
There you
So
go.
like it's like I wasn't that offended,
yeah.
but that episode as a whole is fucking bad. It's like, okay, like you said, May gets upset and immediately turns to "I'm gonna kill you."
kids are stupid.
Sets a fire to a brick wall,
And burns the whole fucking
and all of a
superstructure
sudden
down.
everyone's
Oh.
dead. Which
Oh, you
I
guys-
took, which is this is where me and Zach were. I don't think we were understanding each other in the chat.
Yeah. You actually had some great points, by the way. I will
Well,
say that. I will
their
give you credit
whole
where credit's
their whole in like their whole like kind of thing to do with fire is weird too, because the whole flashback from the first episode, like where was there oxygen in space for that fire to happen?
Well, that happens in real
Give
space,
oxygen
though.
on in the
Yeah, but
ship.
like
It's
it
a
was just
speak
weird.
out.
Like
But that's happened in episode 1. That's happened
Yeah,
in
when
episodes
Arceus
Yeah.
4
forces
Well, how do
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, in space, how do we
I don't
hear
hate it.
stuff
But-
shoot? Cause
Yeah,
there's
Lane's
no
right.
sound
Like,
in
if
space.
we're really playing the physics game here
I
with
mean,
Star
the
Wars, it's
first
like,
movie
Yeah.
that actually I can think of, like for sci-fi, that I can think of that I watched where it actually had it, where there was no
2001.
sound
Just
in
wait.
space, was Robot Jox, which was the
2001, I
Rocket
think,
Morgan
does it, right,
movie.
Dean?
What's that?
The mute 2001: A Space Odyssey. When they go in space, there's no sound.
Yeah, and like Interstellar. When
Oh yeah,
fucking-
when the dude, that shit is
So-
eerie, bro.
But yeah, you know, like the death of all the witches, when the like whatever the generator like blows up and you just hear these like off-screen screams, like there's 100% gonna be more to that in
Yeah.
some roundabout way where
So-
the Jedi are responsible for those deaths.
That's what I was
Like-
telling Zach.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way, because the Jedi were in like a valley. They weren't on top of the mountain in the base with all the witches when this shit went
Yeah.
down. But Soul was there immediately. And I was like, there's no reason that dude that killed himself
yeah.
got a scar. I mean, unless he got it much later, but they make it
So,
a point
yeah, here's
he
our
doesn't
argument.
have a scar.
Yeah, so Dean was saying that he felt like it was implied the Jedi either killed the witches or at least played a larger part in this event than what we see on screen. And the way that I felt about it was, one, I didn't like. I was somewhat agreeing with him. I was like, I don't think that Padawan really did enough to get his vow of like meditation and silence. All he really did was take their blood and then assist with the test, and he wasn't even leading the mission. He was just there as like, he doesn't have any say in what they're doing, right? And so Dean was like, well, yeah, what if he participated in this massacre and that's why he's doing it? Which is an
feels
excellent
guilty.
point. Excellent point. But I think that while I understand the show personally made me feel like, damn, these Jedi are kind of assholes, I was like, bro, there's no way the Jedi massacred all these witches purely because they felt like they were doing some weird shit with the Force.
Well,
To me, that would be like, I think it's
Crazy.
going to be like the Sith or that the masked dude that has a part in this. I feel like the Asian dude has to be a bigger role because he overpowers the evil girl like immediately, and she just killed fucking Carrie Ann Moss. That shit was crazy.
Well, remember though, Mace Windu is going to arrest Palpatine on the grounds that he's a Sith Lord. He's going to jail
Yeah.
for that, and he's also too dangerous to be left alive for that reason. Before he really does much of anything, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna
he's
arrest
also
him.
like the rogue of the Jedi Council. That's just like his personality. These guys
Yeah,
seem
but I
like
don't-
very by the
That's why
book.
his lightsaber's purple, yo.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
he's like, we're gonna
BMF.
go. He's like, but he goes over there with Kit Fisto and Eth Koth, and he's like, we're just gonna arrest this guy right now for what? Because he's a Sith Lord.
You're
So, like,
making
I
a
don't
great
know.
point, though, for sure. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great point.
Now,
Yeah,
this-
because
I
it's-
just felt like it would be shocking. Like, if that's what just happened, like, I couldn't
I'm-
believe it. Because
I'm-
the fire happens way too fast.
Way too
and the
quick.
deaths happen way... Like, I was like, God damn, like, that
Yeah.
is
Because you
eerie how
also
fast
don't
that happened.
hear lightsabers,
Yeah,
right?
you
When
don't
she's
hear
climbing
anything.
through, you hear fire and screaming, but you don't hear like lightsabers going off. So I feel like they're gonna. I think Zach might be right. It's either the Sith guy. I think it's the mother in that helmet. I don't think she's really dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
one
don't
thing-
actually
one thing-
show her dead body. They just show like an upshot.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
didn't she like walk by her and started crying?
Yeah, but they don't like show it.
Right.
It's just
One
like
thing
her
I-
shoulder or something.
Yeah. One thing I
And
will
it-
say also, back to that point that Dean made about the scar, it's like this kid's a Padawan, but when we see him in the future, he's like a Jedi Master. So I'm not saying he didn't get the scar
Yeah, it's
in
like
this
16
event.
years later.
Yeah, but like between then and 16 years, he wasn't doing that floating thing the whole time. So there's a lot.
Yeah, he
Well,
could
and
have gotten
it's
his
good
scar
that we have
somewhere
these
else.
Spoken in
questions.
10 years. Yeah, right. They say
Yeah,
he
it's
hasn't
good that we
spoken
have
in
these-
10 years.
Yeah, so it's not the full 16 years. So it's interesting.
now,
Yeah, he
I'm
could have gotten that
intrigued.
scar somewhere else.
are these
Yeah,
witches
100%.
that y'all talking about? Are these the ancestors of the Ahsoka witches, or are they?
No,
different
We
it's
type
don't.
of
I don't
witches?
think so.
We don't know.
I think they're supposed to be something different than the Doppelmayr, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
the
they haven't
Doppelmayr
really
was like
even looked
green.
magic and their stuff is definitely dark side. Like
Yeah, they forgot to
that
add
one-
the colorful magic on in this episode. They just sort of dance
That's
at each other
true.
and put
Bro,
their hands up.
I will say some of this stuff is so cringe to watch. It's like, ugh, like
Yeah.
that little chanting thing, and then like the attack me with all your strength. It's like,
Dude,
bro, are you
every
in an
time she
anime?
was like-
That
It's
is
like-
that is
Yeah.
so like wannabe Kill Bill talk
Dude,
right
the-
there. It's the
Yeah,
worst.
it's like, bro, that only
It's the
works in like a
worst.
very
Dude,
specific.
That's like
I
a
said, like
textbook like
anime.
Hot Toys prototype pose every time. Like she was like,
They should've-
attack.
well, I think this is all sounding like we don't have to expect Papa Howie unless he like is put in a hammerlock. Then we will probably be seeing any figures.
I
Dude,
would
I
actually
don't
fucking
care if he-
love a soul.
I was
Soul
gonna
is
say I
so
don't care if
fucking
he even
cool.
makes figures. I'm not going for him. I'm not getting
Dude,
them.
Soul or his Padawan.
Yeah.
Maybe that
I like
Dang,
the
what-
chair droids.
What's his
There's a
name?
That was
reason.
Oh, those are
Crazy.
cool. I like
That
those.
That was
There's
actually
a-
really fucking cool.
Pip, I like Pip.
There's a reason we had like
We're talking about
Darth
Pip.
Empire and Luke
Pip.
Skywalker like chucked in our faces last month and everything.
Yeah.
But
So Chris,
this is-
you have some great takes on this. So what have you thought so far? We're probably gonna run a little long, by the way. If anyone has to leave, totally understand. But Chris, what do you think so far?
Man, it's just like I think what's winning me over a little bit is like don't get me wrong, like Leslie Headland's probably like evil and crazy, like you know, it's
Lego
okay.
Headland.
Yeah, it's okay, but like you're never, I don't think you'll ever get like a showrunner for one of these shows that has actually like thoughtfully finished both KOTOR games. Like it'll never happen again. J.J. Abrams doesn't even know who Darth Plagueis is, and he directed 2 Star Wars movies. You know what I mean? Like this is somebody who's actually steeped in the last the 20 years of lore that's like predating Disney. And like you feel it in the show. Like I don't know when the last time any of you guys played Knights of the Old Republic is, but like there's music cues taken from it in this show, like a bunch. And like I don't know if any of you guys caught there was a Selkath, first live action KOTOR alien species in this show. There's a little bit of attention to that sort of stuff, and it's like I know that's aesthetic window dressing, but it's part of the world building and
Sure.
that that really sort of sells me the fact that like there's a like that's not a crappy Neil Scanlon episode 7 alien, you know? That's an awesome species from a 2003 video game. Like
We
that's
need an
it's a deep
HK
cut.
droid in there.
Oh, that would be.
Yeah, they
dope.
tried to put like a variation of those in Ahsoka and Mando, I guess, but they're not exactly the
Ugh,
same.
Hated
But,
everything about that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I it's just like I don't know, man. I'm not like I'm not like I remember like watching each episode of Kenobi filled me with literal pain. You know what I mean? Like this
Oh,
is the
God.
totally
The
different
kid running
experience for
scene?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Terrible.
Leia like ducks under a branch and a goon literally walks into a tree branch, it's like that's literally what happened. He's like, "Oh, what? I'm stuck against this tree."
She's like
My
7 years old, out
weakness.
running these grown ass men. Just like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
What?
It's just wild, right? And like, but what I really want to, I think it's a great example is if you look at the Carrie Ann Moss fight from the beginning of this show, and just compare the use of the environment and the choreography to like the
Yeah.
last fight with Kenobi and Vader. It's like one is adults working, the other one is like some cartoon bullshit, and it's like there's literally just CGI blue rocks getting thrown around, like,
Yeah.
and there's like no terrain, there's no like, you know, they're just swinging LED sabers at each other, and it's like real boring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Credit
which
where
is
credit's
crazy
due.
because. Oh, go ahead.
It felt, you're 100% correct, Chris. It felt like I was watching like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like the movements and fucking Soul when I wouldn't even call it fighting. He's just dodging.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this
His
shit. Like
defensive
honestly,
fighting.
Black Series or TVC, 100% coming to the collection for Soul. That dude is fucking him.
Well,
bro.
even the fight with Carrie Ann Moss was fucking fantastic.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
And I was
great.
like,
That
man,
was
I
an
can't wait
amazing
to see
fight.
more of this. And then,
Agree. Those are
Sorry.
some
But also, she got
amazing-
punked by like, I would say the oldest trick in the book. Like, look over here.
Right.
Like, really?
She was saving a civilian's life. That's what the Jedi do, man. You know, unless you're a
hate to see
witch.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, unless you're a witch and a child, then we're gonna come and fucking.
Yeah,
destroy
I'm sure
everybody
there's
there.
a bunch of stuff I'm forgetting to mention, but like, it's not the worst.
Are you gonna continue
thing.
watching it?
I think I am. Because
Wow, that's actually because you came into this thinking like you probably weren't gonna watch it.
everyone said
Continue.
episode 3 was gonna destroy Star Wars and you're gonna fucking want to kill yourself. And I was like, well, fuck. Like, I don't even know if I want to even get invested. So I'm not even gonna watch the first 2 until the third one's out. I watched all 3, and when the third episode ended, I was like, damn, I want to watch the next one. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
hate it. I'm
I'm
like-
intrigued.
like a 7 out of 10. The third episode, like 2 out of 10. Like, it's not good. When it started and they were kids, I was like, fuck. I'm going to have to sit through a whole fucking flashback episode. I don't need it. You've kind of already set up the story enough.
Everything you need to know.
I really kind of understand what's happened already.
Isn't it
It
wild?
also
That,
sets up that Chewie was just weighing out for those fucking movies, bro. That
Isn't
Wookiee
it
was
wild
fucking
that,
moving, bro.
I like
isn't it
his
wild they
shaved
didn't
head.
use they didn't use the same kid for the twins? You know what I mean? It's obviously
Right.
2 different girls, and it's like
I hated that.
and when they're adults, you know, they should look more similar when they're like 5 than they should when they're like 30.
Yeah.
Like it's not the opposite of that, but it's probably thinking about it, it's probably a practical concern of like, if you thought the acting was bad, try making one of those kids stare at a ping pong ball and then play the other
Yeah,
scene
do it
back at
twice.
himself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it would have been
100%.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, as far as acting in the show, I have zero qualms. I was telling Chris before the show started, the chick that played Reva, not a good actress. Like, it doesn't matter
Queen's
how
Gambit,
good the
she's
writing
good.
or bad the writing was. Oh, is she in Queen's Gambit?
She's in
She-
the Queen's Gambit. She's great.
I don't know if maybe Reva was just written fucking terribly,
It
but
also could be the direction.
For sure.
it was just not good. But like everybody in this show is like pretty good. Like even with the subpar writing, it's like it's believable. I'm at least like, oh, I want to see what's next.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm at like a 7 out of 10. Like exactly what Chris said earlier. At least they're not shitting on my favorite characters. I have no horse in this
Yeah.
race.
Till
Like,
Yoda shows up.
yeah, and they fucking.
There you
hit
go.
him with Fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say.
I know. Yeah. It's like what are these maniacs gonna make Yoda say? God help us. Anyways,
I just think episode 3 could have been like a 10-minute opening to the first episode, and we could have used that episode 3 time for more story. Because they could have just done a flashback of the fire and cut out a lot of the other shit, and we would have been like,
100%
okay,
agree.
we get it. This is what happened to this girl.
Cuckoo
to move her
bananas.
along.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it kind of was a bummer that whole episode was, geared towards that whole flashback. I feel like it was lackluster having to wait a whole week, like I said, to tune in to seeing all of that. But
and do you guys feel like this has been and I don't want to make us go any longer, Zach, but like a kind of a trend
No,
with
it's
the
fine.
Star Wars shows where it's like, because I know we talked about this on our show on Fridays, where that when we did Ahsoka, it was like it kind of was out of order. Like it could have been ordered better. And I know that's why all these fans are
Yeah.
doing these, different cuts. Even with Kenobi, despite the things that were, wrong
Oh
with
yeah,
it, and
they
I'll admit
recut
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that had bad dialogue. It did, and it had some plot that was like, you know what I mean. But again, for me, the joy of, I guess, maybe seeing Ewan McGregor back and things like that could
Yeah,
overshadow
Anakin
some
too.
things. But had it been reshuffled, it would have been a lot better. And of course, there's I know there's a bunch of fan cuts out there and stuff that is like,
Bro.
oh, this is actually a lot more palatable this way.
If episode 1 was up at the episode 3, I would have been out. Episode 3 was just not good.
What-
It wasn't
Yeah.
fun to watch.
But Dean, what if episode 3 was cut down to about 10 minutes at the front of episode 1? And did you
No,
need
because they
episode
did that
3
shit with
to-
Andor. At the beginning of every episode is a fucking flashback of him as a kid. I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah,
see
word.
this.
Right. Yeah. And I
That's
and I
why
also
Andor felt
yeah.
like a trudge to get through.
I think
Yeah,
I
they
think
did
the
feel
show
like
opened up right. Like, you know what I mean? The way that they did those first 2 episodes, I think they did them right. Besides the clickbaiting of Indara, you know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
plastered all over the promo of this whole show, and you
Yeah.
only get her for like the first
That's-
15 minutes.
That's
That's
why
bullshit.
I'm worried that that's not the everything is going to be a flashback. Because it's
Well-
like, how are you going to hire Carrie Ann Moss and have her in 2 episodes?
Well,
Well,
But it
I
kind of
think-
sets
no,
the stakes
we'll
high
see
though,
her
because
again.
now
I
you're
think
thinking
we'll
like,
see her
fuck,
some
did
more.
anyone could die, right?
you're gonna have she's gonna be in one more episode where basically imagine the Vader hallway scene of the end of Rogue One, but it's Carrie Ann Moss just going through a bunch of witches like that.
I'd fucking watch
Fucking
that.
crazy. That would
She
be
jumps up in the
fucking
air. She
wild.
jumps up in the air and does that Trinity kick. Best show.
but it's kind of like
Also,
Can you
what is
imagine, bro? Fuck.
what is with Disney doing like the random shirtless scenes? They did with
I don't
Kylo. They
know.
did with Yord. I
Anakin's
don't really.
yeah,
starting
yeah,
a
yeah.
trend.
He was
Oh,
ironing
Anakin.
his cloak and stuff.
They did
Yeah,
it
and I
with,
feel like-
they did it with Ahsoka's forehead when they took the head.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was horrifying.
Whoa.
That might have been the worst thing I've ever seen. I feel like the costumes are okay, but I feel like everything needs to be dirtier. And I don't know if this is just. I mean, I understand it's 100 years before what we've ever
There's
seen.
no war.
But I guess. But even
Dude,
the
I don't
Jedi,
know
like they
what-
have mission robes, but they're pristine. Like
Well, but that
motherfuckers
kind
don't
of
ever
also
go on missions.
Okay,
I
but
feel like that kind of also ties into like him, having, kind of that shirtless scene where you see him ironing his stuff and all of that, and then when he
That was
stands
so
up,
silly.
when he stands up off the bed, he like flips his like cape out because he's like real, like they want to be like all prim
Yeah.
and proper. So I don't know if that's just
Well,
the
not
way
only
they
They
that,
got,
look
like,
at
Zach,
it.
their
but
dress
when you-
robes, and then
When you go to run errands, are you putting on fucking dirty clothes?
sometimes.
Well, and I think
Yeah, well, this is
that's
Star
gonna-
Wars, though. Every motherfucker wears dirty everything except
So that's
for
what
the
I'm saying.
Empire.
Like, what? Everything has to be fucking filthy? Because people said the same thing about,
That's a
like,
good point, though.
in the Book of Boba Fett with those stupid speeder bikes. They're like, they're too
Oh,
clean.
yeah.
I'm like, what? Nothing could be ever brand new? Like,
That's a good point. I
everything
get
has
that.
to be
That's
80
actually a really
years
good point.
old.
Yeah, the same
Well,
thing.
you know,
in the
whenever I take
I
post-apocalyptic
actually didn't
world
hate
with
those bikes that much. They
You
were
know,
kind of
whenever
funny.
They were ugly as shit.
But you know,
They were.
Dean,
It's like Friend's
whenever I
motorcycle.
take my car to the dealership, before when they do the repair work, they always wash it first. So maybe those speeder bikes came out of the. Maybe they were being repaired. And they had
Yeah.
to wash them down first.
Yeah.
Well, plus obviously those kids were like
Are we
they
actually
were like
justifying the Vespa
speedsters,
gang
you
here?
know?
Yes.
Or it's like
No,
in the Solo movie where the
Gunner
Falcon
Punk
was
Man.
brand new. and it looks.
I
brand
actually
new.
like that. I actually did.
And
not
everybody's
hate
like,
that
"It's
at
so
all.
clean." I'm like, "It's fucking new."
Well, you know, they could do some more.
Still making payments on it.
They could do some shirtless and bikini scenes where they're out, you know, with some buckets, you know, wash them down, and they can have like a suds fight.
Not on a fucking Disney show.
Well, I mean, they were. I mean, in some of the High Republic novels and comics, they were busily having like bake off celebrations and stuff, and that's not including. I do wonder if we're gonna. I just am waiting for in the show we're gonna see one of the Force sensitive rock people, like Geo, show up.
Oh, those are funny. Rob makes a good point. Instead of
fuck.
making one new life, whatever the mother did created twins, one good and one bad that has the light and the dark side vibe. Ben says it's also 100 years before the Star Wars. Yeah, I say that, but
The Star
Like,
Ears.
in-
What was that?
when we're in Coder,
Okay.
right? Is everything squeaky clean in Coder? I don't believe it was. It's been a
No.
Oh,
while.
Star Wars.
And that was
No.
over 4,000 years.
Isn't
before.
Coder? Yeah, Coder was like thousands of years.
Yeah, it's
before
it's
thi-
yeah,
even
it's
this.
way before what we've seen. But I guess there
So-
was shit going on in Coder too, though.
So just
KOTOR
sitting
as
here,
well.
just sitting here as someone who hasn't watched it yet, and who's
Best show ever.
who's who's been a part of the other releases and so forth, they're doing exactly what everyone asked for. They're doing characters that have nothing to do with the original
Yeah.
trilogy
Yeah.
and not touching the nostalgia
Which is
there.
great.
So they're going to complete.
But it begs the
different route.
question. I think the biggest question this begs, John, you're 100% correct, is in episode 1, or perhaps episode 2, almost starting episode 1, they very clearly say, like, it has been 1,000 years since the last Sith was seen. And you kind of think, like, okay, so a lot of these people are probably going to die because obviously they don't inform the council that this has
Yeah.
happened, or there's some propaganda that has to go on to make that statement by Mace hold true. And when you think about it, Yoda and probably Yaddle, most likely the Yaddle, are around at this point. So
Yeah.
I just don't see them not getting that information.
So do you think they're
'cause
going to
they're
tie
not
that all
Sith.
in?
It also doesn't say they are Sith. It just
Well,
Yeah, the
I
thing is-
think in episode 1, I think Chris probably correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Darth Maul is like a dark. I don't think they call him a Sith at first, but they're kind of like, dude, this guy's like a dark
Yeah.
Force user or something like that. I have to go back and check, but I don't
Well,
think they
it's
call him a
in-
Sith outright in the very first scene.
No, they don't. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he Qui-Gon just says whatever it was trained in the Jedi arts. So
Yeah,
he's like,
something
it's
like
so
that,
out
yeah.
of it's so out of his comprehension that it could be a Sith.
You couldn't
that's
even
not
believe it's a Sith. Yeah.
exactly. And you know, also in 1999, like they weren't leaning so heavily into like the Night Sisters were like barely a thing. Like they're
Yeah.
from like they're like in a couple novels in the
Sith
90s. So
adjacent.
like Lucas is not thinking about other Force using factions.
Yeah, but
other
now
than
Disney has
Jedi
it
and
all in
Sith.
front of them. They have to
Yeah.
tiptoe around.
Well, they start.
what
Yeah,
they're
they
trying to
started
do.
not until Clone Wars and after all the prequels were done, where they
Mhm.
really start saying, "Hey, there are all these other things," or the gods of Mortis and all that other stuff starts
Yeah.
happening.
yeah,
I-
it's
I do agree,
definitely
though.
not as bad as the internet would have you believe.
Bro,
which is
looking at
exactly
YouTube
what I
videos
said
was
last
exhausting
week.
Today.
I was like, you have to watch things and come up with a conclusion for yourself because everything is terrible and everything is woke and everything is designed to fucking, I don't know, fucking touch your kids and it's like,
Touch your
or
pee-pee.
it's just not super great. Like it's still watchable.
Yeah.
All right, so,
I'd
so
rather
Dean, let-
watch this than fucking Book of Boba Fett, and I fucking love Boba
Yeah.
Fett.
Yeah,
let,
Book of
let-
Boba
let me
Fett.
That's your
let me
guy.
ask y'all a question then. All right, since you all are Star Wars fans and you've
fan.
seen this, now I have not seen it, and I am not knowledgeable of anything outside of the original trilogy for the most part. If I were to watch this show, would this be one that I would, number one, understand, and number two,
Ooh, that's a good
enjoy? That would be a question.
No and no.
No, really? Oh, okay.
No and no.
I would say where we're at with the show, wait till it's done to ask that question. I wouldn't
okay,
tell you,
yeah.
Thomas, you need to be watching it right now. I would say when it's done, I'll tell you should watch it.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
with,
I want to hear what Chris has to say.
well, I was gonna say with the Mandalorian, he's a he's a bounty hunter. So if you understand that he's collecting bounties and shooting people, and he finds this little baby Yoda, doesn't want to kill it, it's fine. But this, there's so much lore of like the Jedi and who they are and what they stand for and mysticism that it might be confusing.
Well, it's the world of the prequels, right? It's the Republic as shown in the prequels, the Jedi Order as shown in the prequels. So if you checked out for those, it's going to be very disorienting because they assume the audience has a certain familiarity with those films. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I can say like when I watched The Mandalorian season 1, I was never a Boba Fett guy, never really cared about it. So when they were doing a show about these, I was kind of like, I didn't even know Darksaber stuff. I hadn't watched any of the Clone Wars. So in that first 10 minutes, that first bar shootout with Mando, with his first delivery of "I can bring you in warm," I was like, I'm in love with this, and this dude is a fucking badass.
They did
I was
well
like,
there, yeah.
If Thomas had asked me that question about that show, I'd have been like, you need to get Disney Plus now and start watching it right now
Yeah,
because you're gonna
right.
miss
Yeah.
something badass. I don't feel that way about this yet,
Right.
but I do
No.
feel like we're looking at a piece of art really up close and we haven't seen the full picture yet.
Right. Yeah.
That's a great.
That's
way to
why
say
I'm
it.
willing to keep watching it because
Yeah, totally.
from what I've seen so far, it's not as awful as the internet's making it out to be.
How about that Star Trek?
Oh,
Which
damn
one?
it, John.
Sorry.
Let's see here. Chris, what do we got going on Small Talk tomorrow?
Yeah, small talk tomorrow. We're gonna be litigating the HasLab Cantina's right to exist. Yeah.
No, don't get $500
Yeah,
to
right.
get a floor. That's what I'm gonna have to say. Very good. Flavio, what do you got going on your channel?
I have an unboxing coming out very shortly soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'm just working on my thumbnail for that, but don't want to spoil too much. And also catch me on the Bugle 6 the following Monday with Brick Artemis on his channel.
There you go, John. Friday Collectors Club. What do we got?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow, we got Friday Collectors Club. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a watch party of the Toy Con in the Philippines with Legendary Beast. That's going to be at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, so Eastern.
And then you also have Friday, or Friday's off?
And Friday. No, we'll have Friday as well.
There you go. Classy, anything? I know you guys just put out an episode of CW Movie Night, but is there anything going on your channel? And then can you guys give us a hint for what's on next Thursday?
Well, I'm still assembling shelves and unboxing figures, so I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for one to come in that's going to fill up that space, and then I'm going to start filling it up. So I'm thinking, and I may touch base with one of one of you guys who does really good tours. I'm not good at it. I just like show it, but you guys got the cinematic touch to it. So I'll probably reach out to somebody and say, how can I do this and make it look a little bit more, kind of like kind of cool, kind of nice. And then of course, since my movie's a month out, Chris and I have already discussed that I need to learn to edit myself just a little bit. So we're, like I said, we're still refining the movie night.
Yeah.
But,
It's 2 episodes in. Give us a break, man. It's good.
Rome was not built in a day, my dear boy.
I just got too damn excited about my movie, but yeah, well, this is gonna be this coming a week from Thursday will be Chris's movie, and you want to tell them what we're gonna be watching, Chris?
Yeah, we're gonna cover Fire and Ice, a animated film from 1983 that has a lot of rotoscoping action. And look at that, Dean's got the figure. Was it Dark Wolf or something? That's
Fire
good stuff.
Wolf.
Wolfman. I don't think you hear his character. Like, I don't think his name comes up in the entire movie, so forgive me, but that's
I
a
think
cool
it was
figure.
in the credits, though. I think it was in the credits. That guy was badass.
Okay. Okay,
There you go.
it's plausible.
Let's see here. Chuck, what are we doing Friday?
I know I said this last week, but this week for real, the Iron Claw.
God damn it.
We're talking about it. I know sometimes Double A gets stuck out of town when he's
Straight to
working,
jail.
so it's just straight to jail. But yeah, the Iron Claw for sure. Our discussion on the movie with Zac Efron and about the story of the Von Erichs, Texas wrestling family. So justanotherfridaynight.com, guys, check it
That's
out.
a good movie.
Great
I want to
movie.
watch it. Lane, Hot Toys Hotline, you guys got anything going on there?
Just Tuesday night. We'll be back this next week, and obviously we're gonna have a few new things to talk about and stuff upcoming.
There you go. Casual says the movie reviews have been great. Chris and Classy, can't wait for the next one. Check out
Thanks,
Steve
man.
on this channel, Casual Nerd
you.
Problems. Great guy.
Yeah.
We
Thanks,
had
Steve.
you're on mute, Dean. We
I had
have,
every intention of joining Small Talk on Thursday, tomorrow, but I can't. But I just want to say, as far as the Cantina HasLab goes, you don't need it. You can pick one of these up on eBay
Whoa.
for like
90s
Wow.
cardboard.
$10. It's 25 inches wide. You get some
Yeah.
tables. You get the bar.
Hang on, let me solo cam you real quick.
Look how many inches that is. It even says on the
25
graphic.
inches wide.
Dean, do you get a floor?
Oh,
There
it's
is
got
a floor. Look.
Wow, $500 doesn't get you a fucking floor with the HasLab. Those fucking guys.
Look at
Honestly,
that.
I would rather have that than
Oh,
this
it's
fucking
so
garbage.
inaccurate, though. It's so
I want that,
inaccurate.
Nancy.
I would rather have that, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're gonna spend $500 or 10, $15 on this.
Don't do it, Chris. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Two
Don't
words,
do it,
bro.
guys.
Tonica sisters. Anyways,
Yeah, he's all about the
get
Tonica
outta
sisters.
here.
I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these
Yeah.
characters are.
It's the legend.
We have our last Docs PD last Friday, or Saturday. It was Friday actually. Go ahead and check that out if you'd like. It was pretty good. We had an all-star cast, dream team as it was, and yeah, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. I know this was a little bit longer than normal, but yeah, we had a lot to talk about. We have Thursday night Small Talk, Friday night. Just another Friday night, the Iron Claw episode. Saturday, I believe we're playing D&D. I have to double check. And then, yeah, I think we'll probably take Sundays off for Question of the Week. Didn't seem to gather a bunch of fans requesting it, so we'll see. But we love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
See you guys. Bye.
Take care. Later.